because one of the things about Iola Leroy is right after the description in the book is after slavery, right? And all of these different types of people, the diversity of the former slaves is right there in front of us. And and there are some tensions in there. Many people, I think, feel that Iola Leroy is an elitist text because it's talking about a sort of black elite, the salon and all of this. I want to push back on us today. I think, with the standards of, literacy in our community, which have been around for a long time, for generations, right? With the care that we have, in spite of the common discourse like this, the care that we know the Black community has for education, with our panic, our desperation to have our children educated. I have 5 children. Our desperation, right? With that comes an easy choice to lift up everyone, to not say, well, you don't have your PhD, you don't have your MFA. I mean, are you a doctor or a lawyer? I think we need to push back against the titles. Like I'm very happy with Harris being vice president. But you don't have to be a prosecutor to be important. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a senator to be important. I think that's the reason why I'm saying it this way is I think that's Harper's way of talking about it too. Harper is saying like, no. Don't, just because it's glittery and shiny, don't make that how we define ourselves, right? Instead, we need a politics that brings us together in ways that we have a certain type of respect for one another. Now, remember, she's using her faith in this, right? She's using her faith to kind of glue the community together. And I don't want to emphasize it in a certain type of way because we think of faith and Christianity often and church going as, I mean, we have a real tension with it. We have a real tension with it. I do think that, that tension also existed. There are many people, they're not going to church. There are no churches. There's all this, like this, that time too. So we shouldn't think of her as simplistic. Instead, we should see her using the Bible and the idea of a Christian faith as saying, look, here we have a common language or common enough. You don't have to do X, Y, Z. What you have to do is think about the type of choices available. And the reason why I think this is important, for her, choices were also about living a certain type of righteous life.
Yes.
Not respectability, but a certain type of righteous life. And one of those things was giving back to the community. Like a life lived for others is a life that is affirming for yourself.
Well lived. Yeah. And Christian ethic, not just so much a part of her own life. She's the niece of a well-known in his own right abolitionist educator, founder of a school.
Yes.
So being Reverend Harper's niece meant that she was going to be, and also having an uncle who was involved in the Underground Railroad and the abolitionist movement. She's going to be educated in that particular Christian ethic. But then, like David Walker, she also finds a way to interrogate the Christian principles that the country ostensibly is supposed to be abiding by,
Right.
and utilizes that common language and says, here is where we should be, and here is where we are in fact.
And it's actually really important that you bring that up, is that, and Mariah Stewart as well, right? Is that she was actually writing in the tradition, the protest tradition. The protest tradition was written in these terms. So it says something to us that we've moved. I mean, not negative or positive. It just says something that we've moved so far from that. Like, and then we hunt around for a common language. I mean, that's not good or bad. It's that we're hunting for something that we have yet to discover.